Well, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Real Talk Show. I'm your host, Dr. India White, and I'm so happy and delighted to be here with all of you this evening. I hope you've had a fantastic day. I hope things are working out for you. I know we've got all types of different activities going on. We've got people enjoying the sun for the first time up north. We have people on the beach sweating half to death because it's so hot down here in Florida, and so many other activities. Right now, we're enjoying the spring, and I know that this is definitely a time where people are also getting into relationships and marriage and whatnot. And so I'm excited to kind of talk about that with y'all tonight. I think I have someone here that she's a quality lady, and she has been a wonderful wife, and she is going to school us on Christian marriage. And so I'm so excited to bring her on the show. But before I do, I want to talk a little bit about her. She is an author. She is an expert blogger. She is a mother and a wife, and she is a speaker speaking on Christian marriage. And so with that, I want to bring on our show tonight a rock star in her own right. That is Fida. Abbott. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me here.
Thanks so much for joining the show. So I told them a little bit about you, but go ahead, my queen, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, tell a little bit about myself. Sometimes it's too long if I start from the beginning. Okay, so I'm from Indonesia. Yes, the city of Surabaya. So that's the second largest city in Indonesia. And I moved to United States in 2002 to marry with my American fiance. And 2 years later, baby Ariel was born. And then there you go. We have family. I also have 3 stepchildren at the time. So we have 4. But right now they grown up. One passed away in December 2018 because of cystic fibrosis. And my 2 stepdaughter, one got married another year after he passed away. And then the younger one will get married soon this year, September. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
You're welcome.
That is fabulous.
Yeah, and then our daughter from our marriage is 17 years old right now. So she is in the 11th grade. And yeah, it's a long story how I can become the author that I never thought before. Well, I love writing. When I was still teenager, I wrote my first short story was published in a school magazine, and it's on the top. A short story, yeah, love short story. And then my first poem was published in the local newspaper when I was in the high school.
Okay.
So that's the story. Yeah, and then my writing just stopped because I was very busy in New York City. I study in agriculture, and I just forgot my writing and busy with work after I graduated. And then after I moved to United States and have baby, busy with the baby, and I don't have family here, so I just handle it myself. And then one night I met someone that I know before, even though he was not my friend, but friend of my relative. And then he asked me, "Where do you live now?" And I said, we met in Facebook, right? I said, "I'm in the United States right now." "Oh, you have to write." I said, "Wow." And then, well, he is a writer. He's top writer, Christian writer. And then he said, you should write because you're far from your family. That's what his advice. Because you're far from your family, you should write on the blog. And I said, "What is blog?" I didn't know at the time. So 2005, I think, or 2006, at that time, blog just boom, right? Boom everywhere. So I searched what this blog was, and then there you go. It seems like interesting. So I start from there. Then it stimulated me to write, and it was good because English is my second language. So I will, improve my writing in writing. And from there, I start join with the media, Indonesia, and then in English too, some things for writing. I got so many comment, positive comment. They love my writing. And I told to my husband like this, honey, I got so many positive comments. I think it's the time for me to write a book. What? And then my husband said, what kind of book you want to write? And I said, well, the first, because I don't know about publishing industry in United States, I would like to learn self-publishing. So I start from
Wow.
Lulu. Yeah? Lulu. I found Lulu, and I learned how to publish by myself. So I start from children books, very simple. Yeah. So I start with the what's prayer does mommy teach me. So my baby was inspired me to write that because from she was baby, I always pray a night before she sleep or before she take any breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm always learning from my stepdaughter. I asked my stepdaughter to teach me how to write, God is good, God is great. It's very simple. And then now I lay me down to sleep. So I learned that even though she's just baby, but I keep saying that every day, every day. So that inspired me to write ebook. So it's very simple. And then I just learning how to submit, upload my file to Lulu and how to distribute it like that. And then after I know it, I published the second one. It's anthology, my poems in Indonesian and in English.
Nice.
After the second one, I love cooking, right? So I was thinking, why not I publish my cooking book? So I start to publish cookbook, Turkey, about Turkey because it's new for me. So I was very interested. So my husband said, that's good. So it's American cuisine, but with Indonesian touch. So that was the first time, and Lulu at that time was the first time they do the work together with Amazon, so they put my book on the Amazon.
Okay.
So that's the first time Lulu working with Amazon, and then after the first one, the second. Okay, now it's in the United American cuisine. Now I will write the Indonesian cookbook. So I wrote about tumpeng, so Javanese special traditional tumpeng. And then after that, I was done. I said like this, okay, I learned a lot about self-publishing from Lulu. Now it's the time I'm very serious. I would like to write a book that I would like to work with a professional. So I told to my husband, honey, this is the time. I'm done everything. I have like 6 books already through Lulu. I know how to handle it. I know how to market and blah 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 blah. It's the time for me. Serious. So my husband asked, so what book are you going to write? And I said, I'm going to write a novel. My husband, what? A novel? So my husband like yeah, why? I think he had a little bit doubt if his wife would like to write a novel. So I wrote that novel Enthusiasm in 8 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was blessing because after 8 months, I brought my book for the competition contest and I won. So I won and I was just amazed. I said, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Okay." And then I think like couple months later, Indonesian publisher, traditional Indonesian publisher, right, was interested to buy my book to be published in Indonesia.
Very nice.
So, yeah. So in 2011, I just did the contract with them, and then in February, in Valentine Day, on Valentine Day, yeah, February 14th, 2012. So Yayasan Komunikasi Binakasi, yeah, that's the name of the publisher in Indonesia, published my book. So
Congratulations. That's so fantastic. And that's to be
yeah,
celebrated.
yeah,
So how does
that's
that make you feel, you know, that
well. This is what happened. I just write at it. I wanna write something because my mind just pushed me. You have to write. Like I could not handle it, so I have to write. If I stop, it just drives me crazy. Like I could not stop. So in the night when I was by myself, because my husband has to work in the night during the night. So if I could not sleep, I just keep writing. And my baby at that time maybe 3, 4 years old, I think. I don't know. Yeah, 4, 5 years old, still sleeping. I would write, and then when she woke up, Mama, I'm sleepy. So I just save it and then sleep again, just like that. So that's the story. And then when it was published and working with the professional, that was the first time I worked with professional. It was awesome.
yeah.
I know how I improved my English because of them.
Yeah.
So when I sent my manuscript to them, I said to them, "Well, this I use your service for copy editing. I know it will be not good. I know it's many mistakes, or some things error and everything. And I was right, but I didn't think there's so many. So in every pages, it was named the red color. They put to
Yeah.
to fix my
The
my editing. Yeah. Oh my God! At least 5 times or something, or even though comma or whatever. So it was amazing. I was just impressed.
yeah.
So they really work very well, and I was amazed with their work. So I learned many things. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
I learned many things. When you do have the mistake, you learn from the mistake, right? So that's why I got it. So yeah,
That's
learning
fantastic.
from the mistakes.
And so I think this is so wonderful that you're able to just kind of cover this and also just have the balance of being a wife and a mom. And I know there are people out here listening, because I know I want to talk a little bit about marriage and things with you, as well as your books and your blogs, because I think you are a prime example of how we, even in this modern society in 2021, can still be a wonderful wife, a wonderful mom, and still have a side hustle and make it happen while raising our kids. And so, with that said, I wanted to just kind of ask you your opinions as to how you have been able to remain successful while still being a successful wife of over 10 years easy, right? And a successful mother. For those out there that are listening and they might need some nuggets from someone like you, that you've proven your expertise in that area. So what opinions or advice would you be able to give our listening audience today on just being able to maintain a healthy marriage as a wife and still fulfilling your duties?
Yeah, the most important when we have difference in culture. The first time when I married him, I want to make sure that he likes my culture first. I could not marry with someone that they don't like my culture. That's impossible for me. That the first time. So when I met him, I know how he loves Indonesian people, how different they are. Indonesian people, mostly they're friendly, how very warm people.
Right.
So, and then he loved it. Oh my God, and my family love him too. So they express how they have interest in him, and how they know how he respect my family, and then how he respect our culture. He love wearing batik. This is batik that I wear, traditional batik. So uh okay, that's one thing I know. If someone like my culture, that means he likes my family too. Well, that's first step. So I can move forward with him.
That's
And
cute. Yeah.
and then after that we talk about our culture, right? I sometimes in our conversation I saw him like this. Maybe in the United States you can do whatever with your left hand, but in Indonesia, no, never use left hand. Whatever, even though you left-handed, if you interact with other person, you must use right hand. So I try how to communicate with him, but doesn't feel like I lecture him,
Yeah.
just something. So that's the next one. And also I need to learn his culture. But because at that time I was still in Indonesia, I just know from television or reading book or reading newspaper or whatever. I haven't experienced it.
Hmm.
But he experienced because he came to my country. He knows already and he loved it. Even if when he come back from Indonesia on the phone, he said, I feel different. I feel now I'm different person.
That's so
I still
sweet.
remember that. I still remember that on the phone. He said that, and I was, why you feel different? I just come back from Asian countries. I feel different.
So, so how was that dating? Talk to us a little bit. You don't have to tell all of your business, but talk to us about the dating process and just kind of some of the basics. Did you call him all the time? Did he chase you? What was that about? And how how did he win your heart? And for the ladies out here, and even some of the gents that might be watching, what
Yeah.
happened? How was this so successful?
Sure, sure. Well, this is what happened at that time. I had the I just have a bad experience. I just broke with my fiance at the time, and then I said to God, if this person is someone you gave to me to marry him or to marry me, show me. Because I'm tired. I don't want spend my time, my energy, or my money, because dating is money, time, energy. You know what I mean, yeah, right? And then
Oh,
I said, but he lived 1,000 miles away and
wow.
creep me out. Sometimes I ask God like this, God, are you kidding? This is 1,000 miles away, and if he's not for me, just show me. And I say bye bye. I will not expect you. But he is special. He is different. He is different, and he just keeping chase me. That's woman stuff. If men always show so how patient they are in chasing you, and show how kindness they are, and show the good things, you know women's always
Mhm.
okay, you open your heart, let's give a chance. So that's,
Wow.
yeah. And then internet, because we live 1,000 miles away, so internet
Yeah.
is the basic foundation for
Okay.
our communication. So email, that's number one. And number two, he call me. He call me
So,
frequently.
well, did you ever call him and like, hey,
Yeah, yeah. I call him sometimes, but very seldom. Very seldom. But he called me. He called me usually. He
So
knows
how
because,
I don't understand how this all happened because it's long distance. So did he initially find you online, or he was just over there in the country and saw you, or how did you guys hit it off?
yeah, this is actually, well, this is will not be private things, because we live in the era of virtual world, right?
Hmm.
So At that time in Indonesia, I just graduated in 2000, hold on, 2001, hold on, when I graduated, 1993 from university. And I work in, yeah, at that time, Indonesia didn't have internet access so much in the population, so
Mm-hmm.
they have internet cafe like that, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I met my friends,
Mm-hmm.
old friend. She had a friend in another country, it's not in the United States, other country, and then she would like to send the message to him. And then we plan to go out to somewhere, but she said to me, let's stop at the internet cafe because I'm going to send a message to him. And then she asked me to accompany her to the internet cafe. I didn't know about internet at that time, right? None about internet. And then I'm just waiting for her. And then said, hey, do something, send play with internet. I said, hey, you said you're going to go to somewhere. Now you stop here like more than 30 minutes. You said you're going to send the message, but you just keep. No, I think we will cancel it. We just go here. And then he asked me to do something. Can you do the internet? Or I said, no, I don't know anything about internet. I said, well, I'm going to teach you. So she's
Oh, wow.
that's like, oh my God, 1998, I think, or 1997. I forgot. 1999 is long time ago.
I just think that's so awesome how, even though you were all the way in Indonesia, he's probably over here in the States, he still chased you. And I think that that is something that ladies have to understand is that in this game of dating and marriage, we have to, traditional. It seems like a lady has to give that man the opportunity to chase. She cannot, if she cannot do the legwork for him. She has, because I mean, can you imagine if you're stalking him and like calling him 80 times, and I think it would have probably shoot him away a little bit. So I think it's beautiful that he chased you, and I want to talk to you about some um, statistics as well, that I found on marriage. And how long have you been successfully married for?
So we got married in October 2002.
Okay.
So right now 2021. So how long? It's 19 years.
Congratulations. That is a great accomplishment. What do you think are three keys that have made it work?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's hard. That's hard to answer. Well, the basic is I'm a Christian. So when I flew to United States and married him, I said to God, God, this is not easy decision. I
Yeah.
will leave my family. I leave my friends. I leave everything to marry this man. And I said to God, if this is the man you would like to give me, I know you will taking care of us, taking care of me especially. So my faith at that time, if this is the part of God's will, He will do the best for me. Because He will do the best for me, He will do the best for my family.
Wow.
That's the Christian life that I have faith. Yeah, that's the foundation. The foundation. And then that's the number one is the foundation of my faith. Number two is communication. During the communication is very hard because we're different cultures sometimes, different perception, different habit. It's many kinds. But thanks God, he's nice person. He's kind, even though it's not 100% the best. Everybody is not perfect, right?
Right.
Including me, I'm not perfect.
Right.
But as I start from the beginning, that I said to God, if this is the part of your will, you will give me the strength. If I will face the problem, and that's God show me. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
That's beautiful. And that's awesome to hear that, you were able to look at your faith and have such a successful marriage. A marriage, I know it's not always easy. And I'm going to share with you now on Fida some facts on marriage that I was able to dig up. I like to find some stats. So first things first, you mentioned that you're Christian. And so this study was taken about a 10-year range from about 1997-ish to about 2018. I might be off a little bit, so please don't quote me exactly on that. But it's from ifstudies.org blog. And it talks about how the stats on people identifying as Christian it went from 89% to 70% in 2018. So the number is unfortunately decreasing. In addition to that, I was able to find out some other information regarding Christian marriage that I wanted to share with you. And I know that you were just a speaker at the Real Women Being Made Whole event. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I wanted to share these facts first and ask you questions on how you felt about it. So stats on Christian marriage, the likelihood of marriage now this was white couples and black couples. That's all they provided. And it said white couples went from 85 to 58% in a span of about 10 years. And then for black couples being married, it went from 69% to 40%. And I just wanted to get your kind of input on your opinions about these statistics here.
Yeah. Well, I'm not an expert in the Christians things, but I walk in Christian life, right? So I would like to share my experience,
yes,
my knowledge from my own experience, from my family experience, from my friends' experience, from other Christians' experience, right? Number one, I don't want to judge people. Number one, right? Because we don't know what's happening. Because when you dealing with other people, even though you're marriage, you're dealing with different person. When you deal with different person, different character, different many things, everything is different. So I don't want to judge. But the first things that we need to know, the meaning of marriage. The meaning of marriage. What is the marriage? What is the marriage? That's what we need to know. What is the marriage? If you know about the marriage, then you should understand. That's why in the Christian life at the church, before you go to say yes, I do, they have study, right? You need to take, I don't know how many weeks or many months, I don't know, too. So the priest or the pastor will teach you what's the meaning of the Christian marriage. So even though you adult, you professor, you doctor, or whatever your title is, it doesn't mean that you know about marriage.
That's good.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
I agree. Okay. And marriage counseling, like you're talking about here. And so talk to us about that a little bit more. I'll let you go ahead and elaborate more on that and the value of that. And you spoke about you spoke about what is marriage. And I would like for you to also elaborate on what you feel marriage is really all about as well.
Well, when I had the chance to be a speaker in the event, I speak about how to deal with cultural differences with Christian marriage. So if we talk about marriage, it's huge. It's huge. It's very huge. So they give me the topic is very simple. So different culture, culture differences within Christian marriage. That's what I talk about. So I handle. It's not about what is Christian married in the wide things, but culture differences as I experiences
Right.
already. So after we know about what is a marriage is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and then number two, the essential about the marriage, whatever beside faith in God, now you work with someone. You don't work by yourself. You work with someone. That means two person hand in hand together. Do not forget about your creator. Who is their creator? God. Put God in front of you. It's not in behind you. So my husband is Catholic
Mm-hmm.
and I'm Protestant in Indonesia. I'm not sure in the United States they're not Protestant. They just know Catholic and Episcopalian, or I don't know what.
Those are the main two classes, Catholic and Protestant. But then among Protestant branches out to different things. Like I know I'm Apostolic Pentecostal, so that would be one of the Protestant. If you had to kind of put it under an umbrella, just to kind of identify. But yes, Protestant and Catholic. You're right.
So I said to my husband, I'm very thankful, even though you're Catholic, you still, it's okay if I bring you to the church, Episcopalian or whatever church that is not Catholic. So that's good. And I'm okay too. I sometimes, before we moved to Coatesville, we went to Catholic church too. So just, give the respect to my husband's at that time. And then, number one is how we apply Christian life in our marriage.
That's good.
So this is so interesting because I'm not sure if you know about Indonesia. At that time, Christian in Indonesia is very boom. So it's very strong how Christian grow in Indonesia. So when I'm so every aspect in my life, like before I eat, I pray. Before I go, I pray. Right. So
Yeah.
before I go to sleep, I pray. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure in American life. I don't know.
Yes,
But
me too. Well, I think that those that do believe in God or the higher power, whatever. Yeah, I think that something enters your mind and says you might want to make sure you're good before because you might not wake up.
so
Yeah.
this what happened when we still dating in Indonesia. When he visit me, I always pray when we have what's name have enjoy the food in restaurant. I start with praying. So
Yeah.
it's just I want to him know how my habit, how I do my daily life. So the interesting thing when I moved to United States and I met the first time with my stepchildren, that was interesting. I cook Indonesian food. This is a
Uh-huh.
very interesting story. So I cook like 3 or 4 different Indonesian cook, and I was very very excited because that was the first time I was going to meet my future children,
Yeah.
right? So everybody sit down on the dining table, right? And I start, okay, let's pray. Who will do the prayer? Everybody just look at and I know is that I'm thinking, what is that something new? So that's something. So I think I don't know. Is so if they come to my house, no matter what, when we start to eat some food, I always start with prayer.
Beautiful.
So that's what I want to bring the Christian life in our daily marriage, and also for my daughter. You met my daughter Ariel, right? So because Indonesian environment with United States environment is very very different. Here
Mhm.
is very individual, right? Yeah, and then especially the weather. We have 4 weather, so when it
Right.
starts cold, weather coming and nobody go out. So it's everybody inside the house. It's like between late fall until first spring is like 6 months cold.
Yeah.
But in Indonesia, only hot and rain. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
everybody can go out at any time. So the interaction with other people are higher than here.
Hmm.
So, and then between family and family too, they're so close. They're
Yeah.
so close. And then here, I don't feel like as close as in Indonesia. It's just, I feel it. So
Yeah.
what I would like to teach my family start with from me first as a wife, right? And then I would like my daughter know about Christian life, how I brought her to Sunday school. To Sunday school. So I brought her every Sunday except if she's sick or I'm sick or whatever that circumstances that we cannot go to church. So that's I taught her like that. So she learned about Christian life through Sunday school. From there, her Christian life is improved. She knows, right? She
Yeah.
knows until right now. So it's easy for me to speak about Christian life with her. So easy. When I saw her how the Christian is about, and then it will influence my husband and influence with my stepdaughter and influence other. So it connected. It's connected. It's
Hmm.
connected. So it's like that. So everything is start from us, from myself first.
So you didn't try to like force anything. It was just you just loved your husband and you just lived your life, and then I mean you would introduce things and then just leave it alone, kind of a thing.
Yeah, so the first thing I learned that respect, right? Respect each other. Sometimes we scream with because we got anger, but I try not to bring anger more than one day.
That's good.
It's very hard. Sometimes it's very hard, but it's always the next day you feel better. As long as you slept well, you always feel better. Yeah. So
That's great.
it's like that. So the first is about communication. Where you angry, sometimes people angry, they talk a lot and blah 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 blah. But when I saw my husband was angry, he was quiet. That's the good things. That means I know, oh, he is angry. So I have to stop.
I respect him for that. I'm kind of that way as well. When I get angry, I usually I get quiet, and then so I think that's a good trait. But I also, I mean, my dad, I would watch my dad at times when he was upset, and he also would kind of just be silent and just think about it and just take a moment. And I tend to try to do that. So I think that's neat that your husband is that way. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so, with that said, I'm glad that you've had success. I know some people have experienced divorce, including myself. And I wanted to share with you these stats. It says the likelihood of divorce 40 to 45% for white couples, or no, 40 to 45%. So the rate went up. And then it went from about 10 years ago, 31% to 42%. This also was taken from the ifstudies.org blog. So unfortunately, it looks like the rates of divorce are increasing overall. And so I wanted to see if you could maybe speak to that in your opinion,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah. So honestly, I never had experience about divorce, but I would like to give some things that maybe it helps.
Mhm.
For me, marriage is about working two different persons together in life, right? So it's number one. If one fail, for example, okay, once maybe cheat or maybe addiction or something, that will create a problem. and then that maybe it makes the marriage become weak and will lead to divorce. Now that's why I would like to express here, wherever your faith is, Muslim, Buddha, or Christian, or whatever, if you start from your faith first, when you understand about your faith, you will respect your partner. If you respect your partner, you know how to communicate, how to speak, and how you act, right? So
Right.
you will not hurt your partner feeling. That that well, I like I want to tell you, I don't want to judge about divorce because it's hard for me. I ever had the really uh a bad problem that if I didn't have faith, it will lead me to divorce. But that's come back again. I have faith. The first beginning, like I told you, before I moved to United States to marry this man, I said to God, God, if this is the
Yeah.
person you want me to marry him, I need you. I need you walk in front of me and give me strength how to handle. I know when I start get married, that means it's not happy forever and ever. When someone start get married, the problems is waiting for you in front of you. So never ever think married. Oh, married, yes, I get married. No, that means you married. Be ready because the problem will be in front of you. Maybe not 2 years, maybe not 5 years, maybe 10 years.
Wow.
The problem will be there waiting for you. So that's what I would like I told you, I'm not an expert in marriage life, but I want to show you that I'm walking in my marriage life. I start with simple things. My faith my faith. God, when I get married, I love this person and I'm going to get married. That means he will be the rest of my life. And I know there's problem, hundreds problem in front of me. I need you. I
Wow.
need you to handle everything. That's it. That's the key. If you have God in your life, you let God walk in front of you, there's nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible. Take it like that. Click. I said it's not easy because I'm facing many things. It's hard. But because again, come back in your faith, learn about your faith. If you Muslim, learn about your faith. If you Christian, learn about your what is merit is in my Christian life. What is merit is in my Muslim life. If you know about that, then you will understand you have to act. If you don't act, you just know without. It's hard when you become an act. Do the action is very hard. It's not easy. That's start from there. That's it. I don't have anything to do. When you got met with someone, it doesn't mean you work to make someone happy because what you have done, right? Like this. Okay, now 5 years after get married and we have 3 children maybe, and you start getting big maybe, right? I
Right.
don't love you anymore because you looks ugly. Okay, goodbye. And you start cheat on other woman who looks, more slim, more beautiful. Now, this is only one example. So women should learn how you make appealing with your husband, taking care of yourself. It doesn't mean you have to buy expensive makeup. No, but
Mm.
you have to take care of yourself. How you make your husband so proud of you when he walks with you, when he
Wow.
introduces you with your friends,
Woo.
right?
That's good. That's
Right.
amazing.
Right, that's it. He doesn't need anything. He just wants to be proud. But remember, marriage life, it doesn't mean you do it because make him love for you, but you just do it because you understand that you need to do it. for someone that you love. That's different.
Wow.
That's different.
That's a sacrifice. And I think, over here in the States, I mean, that's where I've been. I know that, we kind of get our eyes off of that as ladies, that we have to continue to please our man when we are in a relationship, in a traditional relationship. And I know I've heard the term, women, we let ourselves go. We blow up and we are tired. We're raising the kids. We don't have time, and unfortunately, it does take a toll on our relationships because at the end of the day, men are visual creatures. And, there's nothing we can do to change that. They're going to be visual. And what looks good, looks good. And we need to know that if we once had them and we once, looks great, we need to maintain that and repent from any other type of thinking. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and be, out there and, hardcore lascivious, but it does mean that you should put some type of effort in making sure that you look beautiful for your man, because at the end of the day, that's your man. So
Yeah.
keep him,
Yeah, effort. When you love someone, you need to effort like this. Okay, you have your husband. He's tired coming back from home. There's no food at home. How you make your husband feeling good? You don't need to cook good food. You don't need. You just, okay, honey. Do you want something? I will make you maybe peanut butter sandwich. Something. Yeah. Do you want me to cook something? I always ask him when I was shopping. Do you want me to buy something special for you? Is that no? I don't want. I just want coffee, or I just want this. That's it. That's it. Okay. So you get ready for Indonesian food.
Well, I just love that, how you are being intentional about making sure that you've made it a part of your routine to check in with your husband and say, hey, babe, do you need anything? Are you sure? Because I think in our culture, sometimes over here, some women have it twisted. Some women feel like I'm the prize, so he has to bow down to me and do what I say and make me happy. Well, honey, it doesn't work that way. That only works for so long. And then there's going to be somebody else down the street, and so in order to avoid that and to avoid sticky cases that end up in divorce, then, I think the lady does have to be intentional and humble herself and know her role as a wife and say, since I've decided to be in this and submit to this man, I need to make sure I keep a smile on his face as much as I possibly can. And that I understand how he works and how our system works within this marriage. And I think that, I would love to hear your opinion on that. But the women that think, I'm the queen, and so therefore he has to bow to me, honey. He has to make me happy. So
I think it because based on our culture.
Yeah.
Western culture and Eastern culture very different. Number one, the way of life. The way of life is very, very different. When it's, I don't want to talk about the other country, but just my Indonesian country, right?
Right.
So when woman married with man, in the wedding ceremony, the lady will on the ceremony. This is from Java. I'm not sure with other culture, but I think same, but just different ways. They clean the husband's feet. That's the symbol that woman will give the service to husband. That's in Eastern. Well, that means it's not. We put like in Christian marriage that man or husband is the head of the family. So it's same like in Java. So in Eastern countries, so husband is the head, is the their family. So woman, it doesn't mean become a servant. No, it doesn't mean like that. But a woman or wife is become a supporter for his husband. Right. So when in the ceremony they clean the husband feet, it doesn't mean they become a servant before her husband, but it's a symbol that I'm the person. Before you have parents or sibling who support you, no, I am the
Wow.
one person, the first person who will support you. So that's when you support someone that you ready to service him.
Wow.
That's the symbol. So there you go.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I know the stats also said that there's 1 in 5 adults that have not been married. That's from Barna.com. So I hope that they're getting some of these great tips here. We also found that there are 84% of Christians that tie the knot. And then it says that not people with non-Christian faiths, 74% they tie the knot, and then atheists and agnostics they tie the knot at a rate of 65%. So marriage is still on and popping here. It's going, and you can see the different rates there. And then it talks about how also 1/3 or 33% of people have experienced at least one divorce. And among all Americans that are 18 years of age or older, whether they've been married or not, 25% of them have gone through a marital split. So whether that's your family or your direct marriage. So I think overall, if you had any overall advice for people regarding marriage, and then we're going to talk about the book and things like that, what would your overall advice be on marriage?
Okay. Advice. Wow. Advice. Well, I'm not a marriage counselor, but I will give some or several that my opinion from my experience that I experienced already. Well, I would like to tell you, when I moved to United States, I was impressed. Impressed doesn't mean impressed good. Impressed like
Yeah, like shock.
I met the person, the people who I met. It's like 40%, 50% single parents or divorce. That's scary me. That's scary me.
Yeah,
In Indonesia, you find people divorce is very seldom. They're divorced, but you will not find divorced people like in the United States. It's scary. So
it's scary.
especially if you see, I sometimes on the street or wherever, so a very teenager bringing their children. Oh my God, you don't see that in Indonesia, except if maybe you go to the villages or other, that's not modern stuff. And we talk general. We talk about general.
Right.
So it's again, if you ask me about that, I'm from different other.
Yeah.
We have different way of life. So in Indonesia, it's very hard. When you start dating with someone, the parents will get involved. It doesn't mean bad, because in Indonesia, when you divorce, that's dangerous. Why I say dangerous? Because the community, they don't accept divorced people. When you start divorce, people will start avoiding you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Feel like you are bad, even though they know you're not bad, but you have black history. Do you know what I mean? Divorce.
Yeah.
You have title divorce.
It's in the Christian community over here as well. I know a lot of people that
widower. So that's why in Indonesia, when you start dating with someone, parents want to know who is he or who is he. So they start to introduce their boyfriend or girlfriend, and then they talk. They just want to make sure you're from the good family, yeah. And then if you work good job. So if my daughter marry you, you will not, you're responsible for that. They just It doesn't mean they want their future in-law rich or have a lot of money. No, they just want to know that you really responsible person. Because in Indonesia, marriage is holy. So when you come about marriage, this is serious life. It's
It
not
is.
just get married. This is serious life
It is.
because you will start the promise. You will promise until you die. You die. That's not easy. It's not on the lip because they know when you marriage start, the problem is different. I would like to tell you, if you say, as long as you never get married, your problem is nothing. When you get married, it's hard because every decision you make, you think it's not just about yourself. You think about
Right.
kids, you think about other things, your future. After that, what is it it's hard, and that's in Indonesia. They're really serious when they bring the marriage. So when when they start to know about the future in law, and they're just getting married, and then uh they know how the valuable the marriage is in Indonesia is like I told you before, is very different in the United States. The first is like here I see my one of my friends, she divorced, she's from Indonesia, they got divorced. I asked her, why you divorced? And the man is very kind. It's nice. It's nice. It's respect her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said to me, "Oh my God, I cannot stand with him. Why? Because he's messy. I cannot stand messy. And when he say messy, is really messy. I could not handle it.
So
So
there needs to be some conversations about, type A, type B. What is your
yeah, it's very hard. So that's what I say. Have you tried to speak? I try, but when you habit is come from your child. When it's set over 40, it cannot change except God won't do it.
yeah?
When it's habit, it's hard. It's become habit. It's become the part of your life. So that's the fifth
And
divorce.
I think there's a book out there, and it's the Seven Love Languages or something like that. It's a great book, and it speaks about, like, there's touchy feely, there's words of affirmation, there's the fixer upper. There's all these different types of love languages, but not only with love languages. I think there has to be just this overall willingness to be responsible adults. Like, I mean, I understand, if you get married, yes, you keep house and home for the most part. As a lady in a traditional marriage, you help support, you help clean. But I think that there are times where I could see that being annoying if the person is just literally just going in the room and just throwing things and just messes everything up and just doesn't care and just leaves you with all of that extra stress that could have been avoided. I mean, you're not 3 years old. You're a grown man. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like some of these guys have to kind of just get it together and realize that you're not mom, you're wife. And yes, you will clean, but don't push the limit. And I think that in cases like that there just has to be an open conversation to just figure out a plan to work around that. I think certain guys think, hey, you're my wife, so this is this is what I want you to do for me. So I have the right to do what I want to do. And they kind of treat the house like it's a hotel room. But I think that, that just has to be revisited, in that marriage. They have to kind of talk over that. So I don't know. What are your opinions on that?
Yeah. I think it's about 75%, maybe more than Indonesian friends, women that I became friend with them. Most of them say their husbands messy. I'm not sure in American how their parents teach you, but I can see how different in Indonesia. I want to tell you something. I want to be honest because we talk about the way of life. When we talk about marriage, we talk about the way of life. From the foundation is very different already. So we cannot make it same, but it's very different. So this is what happened in Indonesia. Most 95% or 90% are Muslim
Okay.
Indonesia, and I'm from Christian, but I have Muslim family too.
Mhm.
So in Muslim life, they mention they call kebersihan adalah pangkal sebagian dari iman. That means the cleanliness is a part of your faith. So in Indonesia, it's very seldom you find the house messy. So if, even their small house or very simple house, or you can mention is poor, but
Right.
they are clean, they are organized, they are tiny because they are Muslim. Most of them, Muslim is always clean before they pray. They clean their wash their hand, their wash. So everything's clean. Go to the mosque, they have to take off their sandal.
Yeah.
Everything must be clean. And in Hindu, same. If you get menstruation, you cannot go to the, you know, temples like that. So it's
Wow.
the part of our culture become clean. So the parents teach their kids, you do something, clean it. Do not let your parents clean it. You clean it and put everything back in their place. And that's what I teach my daughter.
Amen. I agree. I'm very
I
type A.
teach her since she was child.
Yeah.
You do the mess, clean it. Put the things in the trash, put everything back in the place. And I teach her too after she know how handle the bed. I said, you wake up in the morning, clean your bed, make your bed yourself. That's become a habit. And I teach her too every time she eat, wash your plate, wash your dishes, wash
Yeah.
your hand before you eat. That's what I teach. This is the simple thing, and this has become habit. So it start from ourselves and start from this child.
Yeah.
When you make it, that habit is the foundation they will bring until they adult.
I agree. And I think this is a wonderful quality of teachings that you're teaching your child. And I thank you so much again for sharing this on the show. For those that are just joining, I know we've been on for a wonderful time. And I wanted to just highlight you as an author of the Pretty Paid and Powerful 40 Days of Empowering the Woman from Within, and just talk a little bit about your chapter and your experience with this.
Oh, okay. Sure. So when the first time I have the flashback about the story how I joined with the book. I have a wide network in Indonesia, right? Journalist, writer, author, illustrator, you name it. I have wide
Excellent.
relations. I mean, network with them. So, and I'm thinking, okay, I think enough for me because I live in United States. I need to network with people here, literary people here in the United States. So what I did, I just joined many groups on Facebook. And one day, I was not very active in Facebook. Uh, I just scroll down. But I have faith. I believe that I can start from Facebook group, right?
Mhm.
Uh, one group has the post. I never click it before. Some because I joined like more than 50 groups. So I
Yeah.
just when you join more than 20, you will seldom to read it. And then this is so strange. This is what I think. That pause, my heart said click that pause. So I click it and click it. That's the message about what's the name about this book offering,
Yeah.
about the co-author.
Yeah. Pretty
And
paid.
I said, right, that lady. I write to the lady. I was like, oh, really? I said, okay, I will write. So I will just write it. So this is what I need to know. I'm not easy person to trust somebody because when I work with someone, I feel like I have to feel comfortable. I have trust in her or in him, right? So I send many questions, and from there I start to know who she was, right? And then how she handle my question is professional
Mm-hmm.
and fast, give the response, and the response, all response satisfied. If she didn't answer my question, even one, I repeat it and she answered it. So I was happy. And because I was so happy, and then it built my trust, and I'm thinking, okay, the topic is interesting, and then the topic is a match with who author I am. I am a motivational and inspirational author who write about the book, even fiction or non-fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So this book, I think this is good because it's I need to connect with them. I need to
Mm-hmm.
do something with these ladies. So I decide to join, and then I start with two titles, but finally we decide only one. The title is A Long Journey for a Victory.
Mm.
So this story, I was inspired with my experience when the first time I got humiliation because I was going to United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the third country, when you go to when you go to United States, it's very impossible because at that time the change of money, the value of money is very different. At that time in 2002, $1 is 12,000 idea around that. So if someone would like to United States, they must be a wealthy person, or they go because of duty from their work or
Right.
from government, or maybe invitation from the family who already live in the United States, or for scholarship or for study, right? But
Right.
if you're with your own money, just regular person, it's just impossible. So this is the story about with someone humiliated me at the time, and then how I handle it. So yeah, that's the story. So I hope that you read my story, you will get inspired and learn something, become, you know, you have big heart. You don't see bad story in behind the story that make you feel like, I cannot move forward because of what I have experienced with someone who had humiliated me. But that's the story I wrote about that.
Excellent. And so I wanted to also share your website, abbotsbooks.com, right? People can go there and purchase your books.
Yes. So I actually, if you would like to buy a book, you can have it in Amazon. But if you would like to have a printed book and with my signature or other, I
Definitely on
have
Christmas.
accessories.
Yes.
Yeah, I have accessories, special accessories to you. You can go to appotsbook.com, and then there will be the link. You can fill out the form, the order form, and then I will keep in touch with you. And how you will pay, there's several different payments over there, how to from check, PayPal or Zelle or whatever. So yes, that's it.
Excellent. And also your blog spot. I'll highlight that as well. So novel, that's your blog spot, correct?
Yeah, Novel Enthusiasm is a blog about the enthusiasm in Indonesian version. So yeah,
Okay.
there's so many readers who love my book, so I didn't want to abandon them because I wrote my blog in English. So I create this blog special for Indonesian readers.
Okay.
So I wrote in Indonesian, so make them happy.
Very nice. And so we can also contact you, Fida. We can contact you on Facebook by just going to your name, correct?
Yes, you can.
So, so if you guys want to contact Fida, please reach out to her on Facebook at her name, Fida Abba. You should be able to contact her there. This has been absolutely wonderful having you on the show. Fida, thank you so much for your wisdom on marriage, dating, relationships, and also talking about your chapter with the Pretty Paid and Powerful book collaboration, which again, congratulations on that accomplishment, as well as the other accomplishments of all the books. I am hoping that many people will visit your blog, your website, Amazon, and will purchase books from you, read your blogs, and take all of this in. And so, with that said, do you have any last words for us?
Ooh, last word. Okay. Last word. I'm an author, a motivational author, and inspirational author. What if I would like to let you know that being an author, especially a self-published author, make sure you think writing a book thing is a business because you're going to market your own book. But remember, you write is not for money. When you start thinking you're writing for money, you will lose many readers. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that tidbit there. And so with that said, if you guys have not signed up for the Pretty Women Hustle Network, go ahead and sign up for that, because that is a part of this book collaboration and the tribe that maintains that book collaboration. And with that said, please make sure you follow Fida. Also, I forgot to tell you guys about the show. The show will be aired again on SoulNet Radio WKDH radio station every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in there at www.soulnetwkdh.com to see the show. In addition, the show will be featured on Swain Girl Media Channel, and it's hosted by Mrs. Precious Swain. You can visit that on Fire Stick. And then feel free to not only reach out to Fida on Facebook, you can also follow me as well. My Facebook link is Miss India White. My LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. And Instagram is Indie238. And my YouTube channel is India White 123. And so with that said, Fida, it has been absolutely fantastic having you on this show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. And thank you so much for having me in your show, India. It's nice to meet you.
Yes, you too. Have a wonderful night. And y'all take care. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.